On another problem, we have 10 people making $700, so we could list 10 people making $700. We have 5 people each making $800 and 2 people each making $1,000. What's the mean? Well, we could sit there with our calculator, or we do it in our head, add 700 to 700 to 700 to 700, and then punch in plus 800, etc., and 10 to 1,000s. Only somebody who doesn't understand numbers very well, or somebody who's just overly meticulous, would do it that way. I think everybody who did it in class before we discussed it just took that 700 and multiplied it by 10, took that 800 and multiplied it by 5, and then, of course, maybe didn't even do it in a calculator, but knew that that was 2,000, so added the results, 7,000 here, 4,000 here, 2,000 here, and got the result, well, 7,000, 4,000, 2,000 makes 13,000, and proceeded to divide that by the 17 numbers. Now, it's not necessary to write out these numbers, and that's a good thing, because if this is a larger corporation, we might have 100 people here and 50 here and 20 here, and we don't want to write out 1,700 numbers, okay? Or that would be 170 numbers. We don't want to write that out either. So we don't want to write it out like this. We're going to use the more concise frequency distribution. That's what this is, a frequency distribution. Our values are 700, 800, and 1,000. Our frequencies are 10, 5, and 2. So we just do what we would do if we had, if we did write out the numbers. And we're going to multiply the 10 by the 700. That gives us whatever we would get if we wrote out all the 700s. And if the numbers were bigger, it would still work the same way. And 5 times 800, that's 4,000. And 2 times 1,000 is 2,000. We add those up, we get 13,000. Again, the same thing you do if you correctly did the thing by adding every number on your calculator or in your head. You know, you can add, these are nice round numbers. You could actually add them in your head. So, we get the total of all the salaries. And here, if we add up these frequencies, what's that give us? That gives us 17. What does that correspond to in this listing? Well, if we count these up, we see that there's 17 numbers in the distribution. There are only 3 different numbers, but there are a total of 17 salaries. So this is the total number of salaries that we want to average. So we find the mean by dividing the total 13,000 by the number of salaries, 17, and we get about $764, which is our mean salary. So that's a fairly straightforward calculation.